Welcome to Monotangle Mondays. Today I'm going to be using a Phi Tile. They look like this on the back. They're a little bit longer than a regular tile and a little bit thinner than a regular tile. And I'm going to be using that because the tangle that I'm going to show you today is really, I think, personally, done a lot better when it's done larger. Okay. And so this one is called Noom Repus. It's super moon backwards. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is make a series of very thin S shapes, but not an S like you would write it. It's going to be really thin. Watch this. So see, kind of like that. And then to make the next one, we're kind of going to want to judge like where the middle of this would kind of be before we make our next one. And that's where we're going to start the other one. And they don't have to all be perfect. Just do your best. All right, and I'm going to stop right there. Okay, and so the next step is that we're going to kind of connect these. So what I like to do is kind of imagine from this line right here how it would bend and connect here and go like this. If you need to go from the top and do that, that's fine, but I like to just imagine it from this line right here. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We're imagining this line and connecting it at the top there. Imagining this line is continuing on, connecting it at the top. Okay. And then we turn it over and do the same thing with the other side. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect these two lines with the actual opposite shape S shape. So it's a little bit easier because you have two lines to connect it to. So instead of going in this direction, we're going to go in that direction. So, and we're going to go up and above and over like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do after that is make a little triangle and color that in. I like to make mine a little bit bigger because it makes it nice and bold. And that's really the basic of NoomRepus. Now, Of course, it's what you want to do with this that makes it a little bit more decorative. You can aura it because I've seen that done a little bit. But what I'm gonna do is just not instead of auraing the whole entire thing, I'm just gonna aura a couple of these. You'll see. Okay. And then what I'm going to do for the other ones is going to mirror this, but it's just going to be a little different. So I am going to make an aura like that, and then I'm going to continue to make an aura, but just make it smaller and smaller each time I go. And now I'm going to shade it. I'm going to take these right here at first, and just from the top, I'm going to shade those from the top to the NoomRepus. I think that looks really neat already. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little bit of graphite on the curved ones here that have that broken line there. Oops, that's not the one I wanted to do. Oh well, that's okay. All right. And I feel like it needs a little bit more contrast. So I think what I'm going to do is blacken in at least one of these lines. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. So I am going to, let's see, I did it like here. Okay. I am going to erase the shading that I put there because I accidentally shaded that there and here too. Okay, but what I am going to do is, since I have this black ink right here, do I want to put some shading there or do I want to put some more ink? I think it's contrasty enough actually the way it is. So I think what I'm just going to do is use what's on my tortillon and get that very last aura and hit that with some graphite. I'm going to get an 05, 05, and I'm going to darken in a couple of these lines here. Let's see which one. Yeah. Okay. And I think that is going to be where I'm going to stop here with my neem